If someone handed you like a bucket in a leaky rowboat and just said, choose to be wealthy, you'd probably throw the bucket at them. But in Dr. Dennis Kimbrough's study of 1,000 black millionaires, the wealth choice, well, that's kind of the overall gist of his thesis.
Yeah, welcome to today's deep dive. We are really digging into this bold claim that wealth is a conscious decision, not just a product of your circumstances.
Right. I mean, the core claim here is that prosperity starts in the mind. But when you look at the raw data from his 7-year study, it's not about like manifesting a lottery win or anything.
Exactly. He actually redefines the mechanics of wealth. Like, the average millionaire in this study has less than $2,500 in credit card debt, and a full 25% of them actively clip coupons.
Wow, coupons. So they aren't relying on these massive explosive incomes. They're just aggressively conserving what they make.
Yeah, it's a huge distinction between high income and high net worth.
Hmm.
The whole reasoning behind his framework is just extreme frugality and discipline.
But, as a critical thinker, I have to point out a pretty big logical gap here.
Mm.
We live in a world with profound structural inequalities.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't just positive think your way out of systemic poverty. Calling wealth a mere choice feels like a massive oversimplification, especially when people are dealing with historical storms they didn't even create.
Well, Kimbrough tries to address that tension by expanding what wealth even means.
Yeah.
He introduces this alternative perspective, a six-pointed star.
A six-pointed star.
Yeah, so financial freedom is only one point. The others are things like peace of mind, physical health, loving relationships, and confidence.
Okay, sure, but how does having peace of mind fix the literal leak in your financial I mean, structurally speaking.
Right, well, the argument is that while you can't control those systemic storms or the leaky hull, you are still the one holding the bail bucket.
So you have to bail the water out faster than it comes in.
Exactly. The system might be broken, but mastering your internal control through financial literacy is the only immediate defense you have.
I get that bailing water is necessary, but we really have to break down the math on the size of this leak.
Yeah, the math is brutal. Kimbrough acknowledges that America's early wealth was built on slavery, then Jim Crow, then redlining.
And at the current rate, the data says it's going to take 230 years to close the racial wealth gap. 230 years.
It's staggering.
Yeah.
And you can't just, budget your way out of centuries of redlining.
No, you can't. Which is where the mindset argument feels a bit speculative. How does a mindset shift actually fix a 2-century gap?
Well, it points to some really stark numerical arguments about money circulation to explain this. A dollar circulates in the black community for only 6 hours.
6 hours? I mean, that's nothing.
Right. Compare that to 19 days in the Jewish community and 24 days in Asian communities.
Wait, so why is there such a massive discrepancy in those circulation times? What's the core issue there?
It really comes down to a lack of local business ownership. If the grocery stores and banks in your neighborhood are owned by outside corporations, every single dollar you spend just immediately leaves the community.
So how do Kimbrough's micro millionaires, like the households making between 100,000 and 250,000, actually combat that?
They combat it locally. They aren't waiting for a systemic overhaul. They focus on what Kimbrough calls patriarchal legacy building.
That sounds like a really heavy concept. What does that actually mean in practice?
It just means they're intentionally structuring trusts and businesses to make sure their wealth survives past the first generation.
Oh, I see. They're creating these hyper-local economic ecosystems so their dollars stay in their families longer.
Yeah, exactly. Which brings us to how you, listening right now, can actually apply this realistically.
Right. Kimbrough proposes this calculus of compensation. You have to analyze exactly why you are working in the first place.
Are you trading your time just to consume, or are you working to acquire assets? That's the real question.
So the actionable blueprint here is prioritizing lifelong education and ownership over, temporary flashy spending.
Exactly. It's a balanced takeaway. Even if individual choice alone cannot erase centuries of systemic barriers overnight, achieving financial independence absolutely requires that shift.
You have to move from a consumer mindset to an owner mindset. It's about taking total ownership of your own repair kit, despite the leaks. Which leaves you with something to consider today. If wealth is truly a 6-pointed star, and money is only one of those points, how wealthy are you right now? And what is one non-financial wealth choice you can make today to start bailing the water out of your own boat?